guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tam here with Laugh and Grow with Tam, and on my channel I help you grow with real talk and a side of laughter. Let's get into it. So, friendship trauma, what is that? I would say that it's trauma tied to friendship. That title came to my head a while ago. I know I'm not the first or the last person to ever use that phrase, but it popped in my head recently. And I realized that because of friendship trauma, it has affected me in ways that honestly and truthfully, I personally don't even know that I like to admit how it's affected me. But I'm saying surviving friendship trauma because I am still processing a lot of stuff that has happened to me. And for years, I saw myself as a victim. But I recently went through deliverance concerning being a victim. And so I don't want to say that. Have I been hurt? Absolutely. Have I been done wrong? Absolutely. But I am nobody's victim. I am surviving this thing, and I am coming out of it, and I'm growing, and I'm learning, and I'm doing what needs to be done. So with that being said, let me share with you my story. Growing up, I struggle with people pleasing, and you guys, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that that's something that I've been dealing with and have talked about on this channel for a while. I've been open about that, struggling with being a people pleaser. I also struggled with rejection. I struggled with, being rejected and feeling like I was being ignored and all of the things. I was bullied growing up. I was definitely bullied growing up in pretty much every space that I operated in. I just did not like myself. I didn't think I was pretty enough. I always felt like I was too this or too that, too dark, too big, not pretty enough, just all the things. And I struggled with that into college, y'all. Like, this is not even something that, it was just in middle school or elementary school and I grew out of it. No, this carried from elementary school all the way up until college. I mean, up until, I want to say, my senior year of college. You know what I'm saying? I met my husband my sophomore year of college, and even he was like not even understanding like why I was so insecure, because he didn't understand what I had been through, because what he saw was a beautiful woman in front of him. He didn't understand, and I had to explain to him. But yeah, I dealt with bullying, so that played a lot into that rejection portion. But a lot of the bullying I dealt with was in friendships with people that I felt were friends. And it was hurtful. And at the time I didn't know I was being bullied, but when I look back on it, I was absolutely bullied. And I'm not saying that, for a pity party or anybody, oh, Tam. No, it's just my story. It's my reality. And I had a couple of friendships that come to mind that just, really played an impact on how I view friendship, how I viewed friendship and what I'm healing from now. One friendship in particular, I had a friend who just was very manipulative. And this particular friend, took advantage of my good heart. And anytime that this particular friend wanted their way, they would get an attitude with me. They would ignore me and give me the cold shoulder. And I would literally be like, what did I do? What's wrong? What can I do? And I would literally go out. I would go buy stuff for this friend. I would write notes, crying. I would go all out trying to make this friend happy. And for years, I didn't see that I was being manipulated. My mom saw it and she couldn't stand it, but she understood that I had to learn for myself. She tried to tell me I didn't want to hear, no, that's my best friend. I love her. And, this kind of stuff just happened for years. I was a part of another friendship, where they would literally ignore me for months at a time. We would be talking and literally the next day I would come up to them and they would literally not acknowledge my presence. And it just took me through some really weird spaces. So much so that when I began to develop friendships and college and into my adult years after college, as a wife and as a mother, I became very clingy in those friendships. I wanted to always be around them, and I was always, is everything okay? Like, did I do anything to offend you? And just always walking on eggshells. I've been part of a few friendships. I was in one friendship where this particular friend, they never saw when they were wrong. A couple of friendships, and it was like I always had to apologize, but like if I said that they did something to hurt me, it wasn't reciprocated. And that's when I began to go within myself to say, well, my feelings don't matter. My feelings aren't important. So I'm just going to stop talking about my feelings. And then I started beating myself up for feeling the way I felt, because people would say things, well, Tam, you're too dramatic, or you always upset about something. And so I just stopped telling people how I feel. So people would ask me if I was okay, and I wasn't okay. But I'm sorry, y'all may hear this air because I done got hot. Whew. And I wasn't actually okay, but I would just say that I was because I didn't feel like it would matter anyway. And then I would blow up because I've suppressed all of these feelings. And so here recently, I thought that I had kind of moved on and had kind of dealt with that thing. But recently I was on assignment for something, and I literally started panicking with one of my best friends. My best friend, I have a few best friends, but this particular best friend has never given me a reason to think that they would ever do anything to betray my trust in that way or make me feel a type of way or anything. We have a really good relationship and we communicate. And some of that friendship trauma just started bubbling to the surface. It was something, I forget what happened, but something triggered me. And I went into this, did I do something? Did I offend her? Like, okay, should I just call her and check on her? Like, what did I do? Like, how do I? And I felt just how I felt in high school and middle school with that other friendship. And I remember getting so annoyed and frustrated because I was like, why am I back here? I'm 35 years old. Why am I acting like 15-year-old Tam? Like, really? Like, what are we doing? Like, this doesn't make sense. And I remember I was nauseated because I was like, oh God, like what happened? And because I have literally been in friendships where people have literally just walked away from the friendship without any explanation. I can't tell you how many times that's happened where people just cut me off and then talk to me again and then resurface and be like, hey, like I miss you. And I'm like, at some point, I really thought I was dealing with people who were like, something was clearly wrong with them, because I'm like, you cut me off, you stopped talking to me, and then you reach out months later talking about you miss me, or years later saying I miss our friendship. And I'm like, huh? That don't even make sense. You stopped talking to me. You told me you didn't want to be my friend, or you just didn't say anything and just disappeared. And so that kind of stuff, that back and forth, that toying with my head and my emotions, like that played a part in it. And I didn't realize that I was still struggling with that until just recently. And I'm talking to my best friend about it and explaining, I was like, I don't know where that came from. And just trying to figure out what those triggers are. I know for me, a lot of my triggers are being ignored. That will trigger me that will trigger something in me, because that was the main tool that friend used to get to me. I'm also triggered when someone when someone is upset with me and they don't tell me and they start acting different, and I don't know, we good, and then all of a sudden you start acting funny, and I'm like, wait, what's going on? And I could tell, but you won't tell me. You'll just continue to be in my space and take up my space, but won't tell me what's wrong. And so you technically haven't cut me off, but you're acting different. That's a trigger for me as well. I am also triggered in my 30s now. Anytime I see somebody who doesn't take accountability for their actions, automatic turn off. I'm like, yeah, I'm good on that, because clearly you think that you are the only one that can be hurt and nobody else can. You can't hurt anybody, and you don't see where you do wrong. That's a complete trigger and turn off for me. I will literally not communicate with you. I will cut you off. I won't deal with you if I feel like you're one of those people, because I have gone through that too many times where the fingers always pointed, well, you did this, and I'm like, okay, but my feelings are hurt as well. This and this happened, and you're not going to acknowledge that at all. Got it. And so I already know what my triggers are. And so I literally was like, Lord, you're going to have to see me about this. Like, you're going to have to really see me about this, because I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I cannot be going through this at 35, nauseous and anxious and can't eat, can't sleep because I think somebody is upset with me, somebody I consider a friend, or I don't understand what happened and why aren't they talking to me. I'm not doing that at 35. I'm not doing that. I spent years trying to figure out why people walk away. Sometimes people just ain't supposed to be in your life. I know what used to hurt me the most about it was because I put so much time and effort into my relationships. I put so much time and effort and so much love and compassion into my relationships. When I finally decide we're friends, and when I decide that I love you for real, I love hard. I will give you my last. There's nothing you can ask me for that I won't give. That's just who I am. I'm naturally that way. So because I know how much I put into my friendships and how much thought I put into it, to have somebody to be mistreated in that way, it just do something. It don't sit right with me, because I know my intentions are pure. Am I perfect? No. Do I make mistakes? Absolutely. Have I hurt people? Absolutely. Have I hurt my friends' feelings? Yes. But it's not intentional. You will never see me. And I know people say never, but that's just not how I operate. You won't see me ignoring a friend or not acknowledging their presence and doing stuff like that. To me, that's weird. That's really weird. And why are we doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm upset with you about it and I'm not in a place to talk to you about it, then I'm going to distance myself and get myself together. But I'm not going to be in your presence with you, being upset with you, and ignore you and stop talking to you or act like you don't exist and you standing right next to me. Or walk up and speak to somebody standing next to you but not acknowledge you. That's weird energy, and that's petty. And I don't do stuff like that. And so because I know that I don't have intentions on hurting someone, that's why it don't sit well with me when I let someone know, hey, that hurt, and they're just like, or they don't see where they did wrong, or no, I didn't do that to you, gaslighting you, all the things. And so one of the ways that I begin to heal from friendship trauma, guys, is I begin to search within myself to figure out, why things bothered me so much. I also begin to pray and journal and just write stuff out. Sometimes things that have worked for me is writing out a letter to the person that hurt me and just kind of getting the unedited version out. Another thing that has helped me tremendously with friendship trauma is therapy. And if you love the Lord, I recommend a Christian therapist, because my therapist be gathering all my edges and then also be giving me the word. And so I be needing every moment of it. But I will say therapy has helped me tremendously. Like I said, going within myself to see why things affect me the way that they do, and journaling and writing and prayer has been probably the most helpful, practical things that I can tell you that can help if you're one like me who is surviving friendship trauma. If you've been in relationships where people have completely ghosted you, I will tell y'all this. One of my favorite influencers right now, she has a whole brand centered around friendship. And the name of her Instagram, I think, is Your Friend Trend. If I remember, I'll get my husband to put it, because he does all the editing, to put it up here. But also she has a podcast called Friend Fusion here on YouTube, and it is amazing. But she pretty much posts clips every week about friendship, and they be getting me all the way together. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all, let y'all know just a little portion, a piece about me and my story, and why I moved the way that I moved, and how God has helped me with it. And I hope that my transparency helps you. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.